fam. Welcome to the REAL Autism Podcast, where we share relevant, effective, actionable living strategies and solutions. And I am your host, Alicia Gaucher Page, and more importantly, the mother of two on the autism spectrum. And I have my friend here, my buddy, Miss Stacy Robinson, joining me on the podcast. Welcome to today's show.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, girl. Be on your best behavior.
I'm going to try. I'm going to try. I'm going to definitely try.
Awesome.
I'm just going to be real.
You're going to be real. That's the name of the show.
Right.
Real. Right. So, we just met. Let's give a little history, a little background to set the stage.
Okay.
We just met in 2019. 2019. And, you know, I'm a young old. I have an old age, but I'm young, you know, in the face and all those good things.
All right.
But I haven't really been knowing you that long, but I feel like I have.
Like, it's been 7 years, but it seems like we've been knowing each other for like 70 years, and we're not 70.
And we are definitely not 70. So when we first became friends in 2019, what were your initial thoughts about how you could support me once you realized I had Jasmine and Coleman who are autistic?
Okay, I think first because I'm a teacher by trade. I taught for 17 years, and just me watching you as a Delta, because that's where where our history starts. And I was like, for her to have two kids on the spectrum, and she like still is active in Delta, you know, I can definitely support however I could, whatever you needed at the time. And I was like, so I think I was part of the fundraising committee, and I was like, okay, I can help however I need to help. Or when you were having things, because I do graphics and things, I was like, you know, I'll help that way, because to kind of take some things off your plate. But then I had to learn who I was dealing with, that you were going to always have things on your plate. So sometimes I couldn't wait for you to ask. I just had to do. And that's something I learned. So that was my way of being supportive. Like, okay, I'm just going to do it. And if she don't need it, she don't need it. If she need it, we'll go for it.
So you mentioned that you taught for 17 years. So you kind of have some background on dealing with individuals on the spectrum. But if you had to talk to our audience out there who may not have the background like you do in teaching and interacting with folks with autism, what advice would you give to them when it comes to supporting a friend that is a caregiver?
So, and I guess the biggest thing I would tell somebody is probably ask them what they need. Don't just make assumption because, you know, this is their life. Just ask them what they need. And also, sometimes just respect if they just need to talk. Let them talk, because that's the one thing I learned. Like, you never complained, never. And I used to be like, okay, ain't no way. It's got to be something. And then as the friendship grew, there were times I'd be like, okay, I just got to let her get it off her chest, and we gonna move on. And that's what happened. But I mean, and I think our friendship kind of just happened organically. Like, it was never forced. It was just like you said, we've known each other for 1,000 years, and we haven't. But and then I think your kids also connected to me. Like, I didn't ever feel like they was like, oh, never get away, because they your kids, so they gonna, whether they talking or not talking, they gonna express themselves. And
wait a minute, hold on, we gonna pause, baby. What you mean they your kids? So what does that mean, express?
Because people assume that they don't, and that's an assumption. That's the other thing I will say I learned, is that you can't make assumption, because the spectrum is why it's the spectrum, because everybody has something different. But they are your kids, and, you know, every now and then there will be things that they say or do or bring me the pad and be pointing and stuff. I'm like, okay, this is the Alicia and them. They this is what they want, and this is what they gonna get, and they gonna make me know that this is what they want and what they gonna get. Like, play with me doesn't mean like not in a minute. It means right now. Right. And that would be an Alicia thing. Like, let's get this done now. Right. So just, you know, learning how to maneuver and make my space be okay with in their space.
Yeah, that's funny, because their DNA is, they definitely have aspects of my DNA, that's for sure. They also have, their personalities as well. But when you are in a friendship and you're supporting individuals on the spectrum, those are some of the things that you have to pay attention to. So let's see. What challenges have you faced in understanding what support you should provide? And that's kind of a hard question for you, because I feel like, because you so laid back, but I know in dealing with other folks, they are really clueless and they are really puzzled on not only how to support me as a caregiver, but even how to interact with Jasmine when she's coming up to you, grabbing your hand, talking about play with me, or if she has some type of meltdown or shows aggressive behavior. So how do you deal with those challenging moments?
So I don't have a one specific answer, because I think it happens, whatever happens, it happens in that moment. I can just, like Jasmine, so she likes to read and she likes to do things. So I try to divert her attention to do something different. Coleman, I've not really seen him like have a true outburst. So I can't say, because he'll just start walking. So he kind of will do his own kind of self-soothing for himself, and then he'll come tell me, like the other day when we were over there. I'm like, this might have been a few months ago. I never realized that I had to pray for everything when I'm with Coleman, and I was like, because he was like, and I was like, that's a snack.
So when you say pray for everything, be more specific.
So I literally, he was just getting a snack, and I was giving him something, and then he was like, okay. So we had to say prayer before he ate this snack. Never say a prayer before a snack. I normally just eat my snack, but it's just like little quirky things like that I just, okay, this is what has to happen in this moment. So I just go with the flow. It's kind of one of those things. I mean, and then she become, like you talked about Jasmine. Like I've only seen her, I've seen it a couple of times, but she kind of finds you, I think, when she's at that moment. Like
being upset.
Yeah, she'll find you. So I think Coleman, on the other hand, he finds whoever is going to listen to him. And if I, like when he was trying to tell me something about going to the jumping place, and I was like, well, you got to get your iPad. And he was like, okay. Because normally he'd be like, well, I don't need the iPad. But this he wanted me to know specifically, so he went and got the iPad. So I guess I kind of just figure out what's going on in the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Stacey, how do you balance offering support while respecting boundaries and ensuring that we have the space we need? Because again, I might be asking the wrong person, because you're a laid back kind of person. So giving somebody space isn't really challenging for you. But if you're dealing with kind of like a type, what did you call it? A type A personality, or if you're dealing with somebody like me who's kind of aggressive at times, sometimes we don't know how to just sit back and let it play out. So how do you set boundaries around that as a friend, to not overstep your boundaries, giving advice that sometimes as caregivers we just don't want?
I get that. I guess because I was a caregiver when my mother had Alzheimer's. So sometimes I realize that people need time to just regroup. Whatever it is, they just regroup. I mean, because I know there were times like I just didn't want to be around people. It had nothing to do with somebody did something to me. It was just life was happening, and I needed life to happen just with me, not with all the other folks. So I think that I take that into consideration. Like sometimes, and I mean, I know sometimes we might not talk for 3 or 4 days, and I'll be like, I ain't talked to Alicia, so let me just check in. Not that I'm like, okay, you ain't called me and you didn't say, but I'm just checking in, like, everything okay? Y'all good? I ain't heard from nobody called me. So you'd be like, no, I just, whatever. And I respect it. I'm like, okay, when she ready to chit chat or want to chit chat or don't need to chit chat, just me be on the phone, listen to her, say whatever it is, I'm just going to listen. But I just know from being a former caregiver of somebody who had Alzheimer's, that sometimes I just needed to be with me. Like, I didn't need anybody else to do anything. But I also like when people ask me things like, are you okay? And not ask about my mom. Like, ask about me. Like, am I good? Those types of things. So I just take into consideration. And that goes back to the Bible verse. Treat people like you want to be treated. I don't know what Bible verse it is, but
but you know it's
I
in
know
there.
it's in the Bible. So I try to consider, like, what would I want at this moment, or how can I help at this moment? Maybe she don't need any help and she just got to get through it. But that was just kind of learning who you were too, though. And yeah, because like I said, when I was like, she don't never complain, and she on every committee. She got the 2 kids. Like, it was never complain. I'm like, how the heck you do that? I got 15 complaints, and my kids are quote unquote neotypical. So I was like, I don't know. So that I just treat people like I want to be treated, and you're no different. So.
And I appreciate what you said about, it may be a lapse in time where you don't talk to the person. And for those friends that you have out there where they're keeping check of, well, I called her last, now it's her turn. I can tell you from a caregiver's perspective, sometimes we don't even have that air to bring out of our lungs to even have a conversation with you. Mm-hmm. But it's not about you. It's not personal. Mm-hmm. It's really that person just has a lot going on and just doesn't have the energy to talk about it. So I feel like while it may seem like we're putting the friendship on pause, even it's just not. Texting the person and just saying, hey, hadn't talked to you in a few days. I hope you're okay. Let me know if it's something you need. I had a situation where somebody didn't hear from me from like a month or so, and they said, well, you said you were going to call me on text. You said you were going to call me, and you didn't, so have a nice life.
Oh. So we lost a friendship just because... and that's
we lost the friendship, and at that time, I was going through something. So I would just say to the audience out there, that is a no-no. One of my other guests in another podcast said, just give them some grace.
Yeah,
give them some grace.
But that's just anybody. I think people need to respect the fact that sometimes space is what you need, and it's not about them. It's about whatever it is that you might be going through or not going through, or just need some moment, need a moment. Because, I'll call you, be like, I just wanted to hear your voice. I don't need to talk with you, and we'll be done. But, friendships can be hard, no matter what, though.
No matter what.
Yeah.
So as we close, as you reflect on our friendship, looking back on it, what have you learned about yourself and the nature of true support?
What have I learned about myself? Let's see. That's a doozy.
That's
a big question. That's a big girl question. Let me see. What have I learned about myself? And I've learned that I have patience, and I used to always believe I'm the most impatient person, but I believe I've learned that I actually do have patience. I'm patient with the children, with you, like your mom, just all the things that come with this friendship. So I believe, I've learned that I am actually a patient person, and I don't take things personally. Like I don't like. Those would be the 2 things. I don't take it personal because it's not an attack on me of who I am or what I can bring, and I have patience. So that's a huge thing because I never thought I had patience.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being my friend.
Always.
To the end and dealing with the shenanigans.
I got it. But I was going to say this. I remember something happened when I knew our friendship had taken a turn for the better.
Oh, okay, because I was like, what's she about to say? This is not on the list of
no,
questions.
But it had grown. I knew our friendship when you allowed Jasmine to be with me by myself.
Oh, yeah.
That was a biggie. I was like, okay, this is a real friendship because you don't trust a lot of people with your children.
I don't.
You don't.
I need to work on it.
Yeah, it's what it is. But that day I was like, the fact that she allowed, one, I got her from Cedric, and she was going to be with me. I was like, this a whole lot here. This a real friendship.
This a real friendship.
I was like, we down like 2 flat tires from now on.
I thought it was 4 flat. It's 2.
Oh, it's 4. Okay. I was on a bicycle. Never mind. but yeah, that's when I was like, okay, we got a real friendship, because I was like, she's allowing Jasmine to just be with me. That said a lot.
Well, thank you for being my friend.
I got
you. We have many more years to go. And thank you for joining us for the Real Autism Podcast, where we share relevant, effective, actionable living strategies and solutions. See you next time.